What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Geeks of the Round discussion for Agent Carter. My name is DeAno Jackson. I'm the executive producer. First off, before we get into anything else, I want to apologize to you all for not having a hangout for this. Last week, like we normally would, I was unfortunately having very severe internet issues because, well, fuck you, Charter. Fuck you right in your stupid ass. But to make up for it, it's like we're actually doing a discussion for two separate episodes here. Ascend to Air, and Snafu. So that brings us right up to the penultimate until our finale for next week. Beyond all that, Matt, let's just go ahead and introduce the rest of the panel. First off, contributor Isaiah Mullins. What did you think of these episodes?
Oh, dear God, I loved every bit of it. It was just something I always wanted from Agent Carter, that new story, that new development. And I love all the characters even more. The SSR became more human. Literally, and I got really sad at the second episode. Like, why did I get so sad? Why? It was just really good.
Yeah, shit definitely went down. Charles Whedon, what did you think of this one?
Last week's episode was good. This week's episode was awesome.
Yeah, I'd pretty much have to agree with that. New Route, last and not least, what did you think of this one?
I enjoyed both of them. They were really excellent shows. I like where they're going with this thing.
True.
Well, yeah, it's like, I mean, they had to go somewhere. It's like, because last week's episode and this week's episode plus next week, and that's it. That's the show.
That sucks.
So it's like, oh, we all knew that things were going to ramp up, and things ramped up very quickly. Of course, starting off in 106 when Agent Carter's cover was officially blown completely to shit.
Yup.
She was on the hunt for SSR agents. It's like, I gotta say, it's like, I love that scene when she's in the cafe and they got that upbeat music playing, you know, kind of 50s jittery thing, and she's whooping a bunch of people's asses in there.
Highly trained dudes, by the way. Highly trained. But she kicked all their asses.
And apparently not as highly trained as Peggy Carter.
Nope.
Like, Peggy was on it.
Yes, and she was amazing in 2 episodes. She was that character that we needed and pretty much wanted. And the writers did a great job by her, a great job.
You think she was trained by Cap? That they took time off screen and he gave her a few, hand-to-hand combat training?
It's a possibility.
Because, dude, she took out all those guys like nothing.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like, I think a large part of it, and that's something that this show has been very much about, is that females in general, and Peggy Carter in particular, have been completely underestimated by all of her male counterparts. So basically, I don't think they came in there really expecting her to throw down like that.
Yeah, but they got
I don't think they expected her to throw down at all.
Mm-hmm.
She was just doing some Jackie Chan shit right there. Like, good Lord.
I mean, I don't see her getting that training with anybody in the military.
I don't know. Oh, man. I mean, if Captain America did train her in some way, that's still like the best teacher of all time, because he taught a lot of people hand-to-hand combat. So this will be it'll be nothing different, though. It'll be like a teacher, though.
I mean, there was a little bit of downtime in the movies, so you could figure they could have squeezed something in occasionally when they were overseas.
Y'all are remembering the same Captain America that I am, right?
Yes.
Because I have a feeling we're talking about two separate Captain Americas. The Captain America that really knew how to fight, that didn't happen until present day. The Captain America back in the day is like, I mean, he was super strong and super agility and all that, but that didn't necessitate to translate into fighting skills. He didn't start throwing down like he was about anything until the Winter Soldier. It was like, seriously, it's like, even for you viewers, go back and watch the first Captain America and then watch Winter Soldier. You tell me if maybe someone had picked up some additional training since he got thawed out.
Okay,
the Captain America back then could not have trained Peggy to do shit.
Hey, now, that was a montage of Captain America kicking everyone's ass. That was a montage. So that's kind of hard to tell.
What montage are you talking about?
When Captain America was taking out Hydra in the first movie, it was a montage of him just kicking everyone's ass.
To DeAno's point, yeah, he wasn't as skilled. He was honing his training in Avengers. Remember, Nick Fury went to him in the gym, and he was practicing his boxing skills, destroying punching bags.
Easily.
So he literally progressed each movie.
Right.
Yeah, but back then, it's like, it was pretty much he was first getting his powers, and even then, it's like after he first got his powers, he wasn't like, okay, it's like I've got my powers now. It's gonna, it's time to go out and fight Hydra. No, it was more like, okay, it's time to pose for photo ops and sign pictures for kitties and do the same for this movie. It's like the Captain America of the back then was not the Captain America of of current day Avengers leader whooper of all ass.
I'll give you that.
So it's like, yeah, that's two separate Captain Americas. If anything, Peggy would have trained him how to do some shit because Peggy knew what the fuck she was doing even back then.
That's all. Hey, that could happen too.
Peggy stepped onto the scene knowing what the fuck she was doing.
Tommy Lee Jones trained her.
Tommy Lee Jones. I can see that too. It's Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, totally. That seems completely legit.
Yeah, man. And also we were very wrong too about like when the cripple guy discovered like was it Sansa? No, it wasn't Sansa. That was Susan. Thank you. When he discovered like who Petty Carter was actually doing, we were all surprised. He actually went to the chief. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Chief.
I will concede that I did not see that shit coming at all. My speculation on that was completely wrong.
No,
but hey, that's kind of the point of wild speculation. Wild speculation is to have fun. It's like we're gonna get it wrong. It's like that's why we call it wild speculation and not just wild speculation. Yeah. But I honestly did think that he would try coming to her first and be like, look, Peggy, what in the fuck is going on? Talk to me right now. But no, it's like, I mean, he like Isaiah said, it's like he took that shit straight up the ladder.
Because honestly, if he would have went to her, she would have gave him some bullshit story.
That's true too. That is really true.
I choose to believe that if he would have went to her straight up, she would have probably came up with some bullshit story that would have had him pulling his hair out. So he figured, let me take it to the chief and let's let the chief handle this shit.
Which the chief was actually cool too. He was actually like, I think what they did was actually smart and not buffoonery. They actually did everything by the book, but then some. So it was really good and really believable too. So when they were chasing Petty Carter, it was believable, not buffoonery. So it was actually really, really good.
Yeah, it was, once again, it's like we're actually starting to see some of the other SSR agents as, competent human beings and not the dipshits that they seemed to be earlier on in the show.
Right, and I'm glad for that. I'm very glad.
Yeah, I was like, I'm glad for that too, because before it was like, I mean, just think back to how these guys are depicted, like in the earlier episodes of Agent Carter. It's like, how in the fuck does this become S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Right.
These guys are idiots. They don't know what the fuck. It's like, seriously. It's like, in the beginning, it was like Peggy Carter was seemingly the only person there that had the slightest clue of what the fuck was going on. I mean, the rest of these motherfuckers couldn't find their own assholes with both hands and a flashlight.
Right, but when everything changed very suddenly when one of their team members died, everything got kicked up more notch. And so it was actually like, one of our own brothers passed away due to some asshole. We gotta get serious now. We can't play around. We're getting serious. So that's when that ship started to change even more and more.
Oh yeah, and then we even saw things like Chief Dooley starting to step up, and Jack Thompson becoming less of an asshole, and
more of a cool guy. He was really cool. Like, I like this guy.
Mm-hmm. And then of course Agent Carter's brilliant escape was stopped by Dottie,
who is like a real cool person. Like, oh man, she was cool.
Oh yeah, it's like, and I agree. It's like we got Andy watching right now. It's like, what's up, Andy? And yeah, I agree with you. Dottie is crazy good.
Yeah, it's like she tricked all of them. It was like,
she is a robot.
Yeah, I was surprised that it's like, I was shocked that like in this week's episode, I was surprised that Sousa walked out of that confrontation alive. I did not expect that. I was like, whoever's gonna run across her, whoever catches her, she is going to kill.
I know. I was very scared too for Cripple Guy. Like, oh man, please don't kill him. Please don't kill him.
Yeah, a cripple versus an assassin that's been trained since basically she could walk.
Right. But he put his own. He's pulling some Daredevil shit.
I don't know. It's just, that nigga should be dead. That's all. There ain't no excuses. Like, I mean, the first dude we ever saw her kill in this show was a trained killer with a fucking Gatling handgun.
Yeah.
And she killed him in less time than it took me to finish this sentence.
Right.
See,
Agent Sousa can barely fucking walk without assistance. Manages to whoop her. Or not no, okay.
he got one good
I'm
shot
saying it
in.
wrong.
That's it.
Didn't manage to whoop her, but managed to get her to back down, to get her to run away. That don't carry to me. And it's not like Dottie didn't know he was there. It's like she was walking around like she could see his shadow. That motherfucker should be dead. It's like she did not kill him. She the only thing that I can come to is that, like, seriously, killing him was not her goal at all.
Yeah, that wasn't the goal. Her goal was to kill Carter. So everybody else who got in her, with the exception of the guy with the revolver, I think she kills him just for the gun.
Yeah.
But everybody else was just, I'll kick your ass because you really don't equal me in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's like, so far, it's like no one that we've seen in this show really is her equal in a fight, except for maybe that fucking that kid that they met in Russia.
So, I mean, I looked at it as, okay, you're really not my objective to kill, so I'll beat your ass, knock you out, and keep going. I mean, the way she went,
killing him is quicker.
The way she went down those fucking steps was some like Jackie Chan shit.
Yeah, that was some parkour shit right there.
I'm like, am I watching District 19?
And I'll freely admit, it's like a similar staircase. I have gotten down a staircase like that before, just not that fast. I'm good, but I'm not that good. I need to pause at each step.
No.
She was just, that was some wire fruit shit. She was like,
and then she was in heels.
Right?
I'm pretty sure one of those heels would have snapped.
Or something.
Oh, but I'm wondering where they're going with this next week.
Huh?
I want to know where they're going to go with this next week because, let's see, they still haven't been picked up for a season 2. And I really don't want no fucking cliffhanger for an ending.
Oh, they better not do that to us.
Because I would be pissed.
Man, you and me both. It's like, I'm pretty sure I'd be fucking livid.
Give me some form of an ending that if you do end the show, we can live with it at least.
Mm-hmm. I was like, well, I think very obviously we're going to have a major confrontation between Peggy and Dottie. I mean, that has to be a thing. Absolutely no doubt.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting fight.
Oh yeah. Andy asked, was that really parkour? Yeah, it really was. Parkour is essentially freedom of movement. It's like a lot of people confuse free running and parkour. They're actually two different things. You look up like the free running, that's like the videos like on YouTube or whatever, where it's a bunch of people running around and doing flips and everything. That's free running. Parkour is just it's easy transitions from one kind of movement to another very quickly, getting around an environment. What she was doing was parkour.
But her ass was doing it really good too, because she was using both left and right like nothing. My ass tried to use left and right. My ass would have, nah, ain't happening.
Yeah, for real. Absolutely.
I would have been free falling down that staircase, hoping Batman came to save me.
Something. It's like, yeah, just hook me up with a grappling hook or something like that.
Shit.
Propel down.
Rope or something. Where's Spider-Man when you?
I don't know. At least put one of them like air mattresses, whatever, at the bottom, so that my black ass fall on, and it's like there's something between me and the ground. Feel me?
That would be some crazy cool luck. Like, hold up, I got my time capsule. Boom.
There you go.
Shit.
Or it's like, at least let there be a big fat dude down there. It's like, I mean, at that point, kind of take what you can get.
And then, oh my gosh, she lands on the floor, has a gun pointed at her. You break away, she come back, and she beat that guy's ass.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, god damn, you were like the Energizer Bunny.
Pretty much. It's like anybody's ass she was gonna kick, and that was just the way it's gonna be.
Well, and then fucking the other guy, oh, you're late. No shit, I'm late because I had to fucking deal with the SSR agents.
Right. But like, I know you guys already touched on like Chief Dolly, but I was gonna touch on it for a brief second.
Go ahead.
No fact we didn't get that much character development, character backstory. This episode, the one before the finale, gave us a really good backstory for Dolly. About his family. They just played on the right notes. And how that doctor was playing with his mind.
Dude, that doctor was getting on my nerves to keep touching that fucking ring.
I know.
Don't you guys realize he's fucking playing with a ring, turning it around in a circle, and humming some goddamn words? And we got backstory on him where he did that shit in the war.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. It's not just the ring. It's also his voice. His voice is also the magnet that gets people trapped into that whole sense.
But I say you do realize that he's telling you to focus. When he's telling you to focus, you're looking at him playing with his ring.
Yeah, but he does something
his
else.
Words are transcending, and you're looking at his ring, and you're getting hypnotized. It's like hypnosis.
But I know what you're saying. I agree with you on that. But here's the thing: he has to do first. He got to get you to trust him, and also think about something that you like to think about, like you said, his family, which was so easy note for him because he went for the family note. When he thought about it even long.
He finds your weakness and he exploits it. I mean, which is
exactly.
And that was really. I mean, when we saw Captain Doyle sacrifice himself, I was like really sad. Actually, like, what the fuck just happened?
I was starting to like his character.
Right. It's like,
it's like he was actually kind of just turning around in my eyes.
Yeah,
he was actually becoming cool, and it's like, God damn it, you can't last long in nothing.
but it's like, here's my thing. So far throughout the course of this season, we've established that Howard Stark is a brilliant inventor.
A stupid inventor too.
No, brilliant inventor. It's like nothing stupid about this man. Not a damn thing. But my thing was this: they even made a joke out of this in one of the earlier episodes where he was talking about something that he built that might not work, but he was like, "Oh, well, I built it, so of course it works." This is the first time I've seen one of Howard's inventions, that fucking vest, that apparently didn't work. It's like, I thought all those shit
too
worked.
well. It was a flawed invention, really, and it was really, really like, wow, that's kind of fucked up, Howard Stark. I mean, it wasn't his fault by any means. It's just that it was. I mean, even Jarvis said like it's Howard Stark's fault because he created an invention that didn't work, but it didn't work properly. So I kind of agree with what Jarvis was saying. Like, that was kind of. You're right, because that was kind of pissed me off too. Like, when someone called Howard Stark or called someone, please, I don't want him dying, but when he died, it was like for me, it was kind of brutal because he jumped out the fucking window and
the only invention Howard Stark honestly perfected was how to be a hoe.
Yeah, that's true too, and make a good son too. Kind of.
Leroy, quit hating.
I'm not hating on the man. That
you
man
know bad about like that. It's like you've been doing the same shit as this. It's like I've been doing the same shit in Peggy's little apartment complex thing. I've been going door to door selling dick. It's like,
you ain't lying.
It's all free.
Oh, I got some right here. It's like, let's go ahead and I can hook you up with a free sample. It's like, okay, let's do this with you. We go right next door. Would you like some dick?
And they always say yes. But like before that, we had to see Starhawk's ex-mistresses. Who Jarvis and Peggy got to see. They was doing investigation work, which was funny as hell to me because they kept slapping Jarvis like, really? It was not my fault. Don't slap me. But they kept doing it. It was it was just so funny though because that's like the after effect of Howard Stark. Like, yeah, he screwed you over, didn't he? Yes, he did. Never call back.
It's interesting. I mean, it was great. Howard being the male whore he was. We know he does have inventions out there that work. But it
seems like
really
every invention works except that one, except that fucking vest. It's like if anybody else can name a Howard Stark invention we've seen yet that did not do exactly what it was supposed to do, please let me know.
Oh, matter of fact, this is going to be like a parallel image or parallel mirror to Tony Stark's, like to Age of Ultron, because something that works doesn't work for Tony Stark, and it backfires in a big way. This is going to happen. This is what happened. We saw it in Peggy Carter, but in Age of Ultron, we're going to see it in a big, massive scale. It's going to fuck over everybody else. So this is actually like a precursor.
I guess if you're really, really stretching it, you could look at it that way, but it will require significant stretches.
Yeah, that's true too.
But I see what you're saying. I absolutely get that.
Well, two inventions worked really well. That last invention that they put into that movie theater.
Oh my goodness, that
Yeah,
was
what in the fuck was that?
Oh my god, it was like, damn, they were going some really brutal blows. Like, good
It was
lord.
some kind of gas that forced you to. It triggered
Rage.
some
Yeah.
evil rage built up inside.
I guess.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
it's like the fear toxin.
You left that thing there, that mist went all over the place, and all of a sudden that movie theater turned into Fight Club.
Right, and it's like imagine the fear toxins and Joker's toxins mixed together, but into like a anger type weapon. That's what it was. And the Leviathan, again, I'm still gonna be right again, are not Hydra. I'll explain this more. I already looked at the wiki pages of both sites. I already looked it up. I already know what happened. Let me explain it all. Okay, Leviathan was created by Joseph Stalin. Again, you know who Stalin was. Part of the Soviet Union, the whole era itself. And the main goal for Leviathan was make sure their people had the weapons, the superpower weapons, all weapons that people were going to come to and buy from. That was their main goal. Because if you remember, Steve's blood was still in that still in that room. They didn't take Steve's blood. And if they knew what it was, they still wouldn't take it because they want the weapons so they can sell it to whoever got the biggest paycheck out there. They don't care about Hydra or Shield or whoever the case may be. They want to make money and profit. That's pretty much what it is. And they're pretty much rushing itself. And we already saw the guy who's behind the Leviathan already. He's the one who we saw with the children. He's the main matriarch of it. So we might see him down the road in the future. So Leviathan is just a gun for hire assholes, in a sense.
But what if that whole movie theater massacre was part of another picture where they're going after something else to clear out the SSR office?
Or pretty much clear out anything like Hydra. Like they know where Hydra is. Yeah.
They could be working for Hydra, or they could be Hydra. We won't know until next week.
Again, you're right. They have worked with Hydra in the past before due to selling weapons and all that good stuff. So it's possible in the future. It's really possible.
Well, it's like, I mean, like, what information is like, where are you getting this stuff from?
Okay, number two. Number one, I looked in the Peggy Carter wiki page. I know, crazy. I looked at it very closely too.
Yeah, the only thing in the wiki at this point is stuff that's been broadcast. It's not telling you anything that you already know from watching the show.
It actually said it was made. The secret interrogation was made by Joseph Stalin. I looked at it like today, and then I looked at the comic book wiki page, which is not the same as the TV one, which I know that I already know that already. But I look at the comparisons; they're pretty much mirroring off one another. Like, because the Leviathan in the comic books was doing the same thing. Minds turned into monsters. They were selling it pretty much to weapons and doing this and that, and they both work with Shield and Hydra, but they didn't care which side they was going for, as long as who had to be a paycheck, and they will screw you over if you don't give them their money or whatever the case may be. So they cannot be trusted whatsoever.
Okay. What if, to your little theory here, Leviathan is actually working for Hydra because Hydra's paying them to go steal all this shit?
And that's
Did you talk about paycheck? So Hydra could be behind this, essentially, this whole creative debuncal mess.
That can be very, very possible. Again, that could be very possible because they have worked with Hydra in the past. Again, I should note this again. Hydra and Leviathan do not like each other. They only feel like a necessary means to an end. And
you're talking about mostly what it is like in the comic books.
Basically, yeah, and they're using that type of Mephisto.
Yes, it's like I know, and all that I realize. Like I know exactly what Leviathan is in the comic books. Like
right.
We've
but I have
seen
to make that little. Yeah, but I have to make it a little different.
The Marvel shows. It's
yeah,
like
but they're not.
It's like where I'm going is what they're making into in here in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's like because I mean there are a lot of parallels from how things are in the comics to how they are in the MCU, but it's like I mean. There's also been a lot of changes as well. It's like, I mean, I think we can all agree that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.'s Daisy was not an Inhuman in the comic books. She certainly is now, isn't she?
Yeah, due to some big master plan for Marvel has for her.
So yeah, so I was like, my point is like, I mean, they're using things and characters and organizations that are familiar from the comic books that they own rights to. And they're augmenting it to how it could be utilized in the MCU.
Right, and also, again, I'm not going to disagree with you guys whatsoever because you guys could be right. It could be be part of Hydra. It could be working project. It's all possible. Again, it's all possible. But to me, in my own sense, they have not really said like, oh, we're Hydra or this or that because if they were Hydra, they would have said it. Like, because Hydra's proud for who they are. Leviathan's like keep the thing low key, because if their name gets brought up in the open itself, they cannot really make money itself, because people are going to be tracking them every step they go. So they got to be very, very more secretive than Hydra itself.
Perhaps. But it's like, here's something that I'm curious about, because as Agent Carter begins to draw to a close, it's like we're coming off on the end of it, at least this season. As Leroy was saying earlier, it's like we don't know if there's going to be a second season. But we do know this, like what we're seeing now for this year is coming to its end. So this is the point when, not only, in my opinion, not only does it have to close out its own storyline, but now it has to tie back into some of the other things that are going on in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yep.
So I'm wondering exactly how it's going to do that based off of where we are right now.
Or in speculation, because this might be a speculation or thing that
Go
might
for it.
happen now. Well, the speculation is, like, what made the Avengers come together? That whole great moment. What made everything just set off? The Tesseract. Again, how does Nick Fury get the Tesseract in the first place? He got it. No, he got it from like Winter Soldier and all that good stuff. But down the road, how to keep it on locker? How to keep it like under lock and key? How they even found it in the first place? Because it makes you think, like, they got these weapons from from Hydra. What kind of weapons did they get this from Hydra? Did they get it from Leviathan? Did they get it from Hydra itself? There's so many other questions behind what Shield became Shield. So we see the first small steps of Shield when Chief Dooley died, like a hero itself, and people like said, okay, we got pretty much played hardball with people. We got to play in the shadows like these people are doing. So we got to play in the shadows. So
to that theory there, Chief Dooley dying, I think, opens the door for Carter to take over.
Yeah, I think so.
Guys
too.
will most likely vote her as, you know what, you're better qualified to run this organization than what we are.
Mhm.
Right. She might change the name too.
Yeah, perhaps. And then, but there's something else to remember there, is that we already know from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that Hydra has actually been a part of S.H.I.E.L.D. from the very beginning as well.
Yep.
Right.
And
So I'm
honestly,
curious about how that's going to tie in.
it in Agent Carter in a way. If Leviathan is working for Hydra, they snuck people in.
That's also true too. And also, we got this from also Winter Soldier as well, because Winter Soldier told us like S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra. Well, Hydra have been working with S.H.I.E.L.D. for the very beginning. So again, everything is 100% possible.
And here's one thing I have. What if for the Agent Carter finale next week, the Russians get away with Steve's blood and use it to create the Winter Soldier? Remember, they found him and they put him on ice. And they could have waited till they got some form of the formula. And like I said, the theory could play it to fact is that whole movie theater debacle clears out the office. They're able to come back and get what they really were after.
I can see that happening too, because
And get out the country without any, maybe a little trouble.
Well, I won't say trouble, because that doctor has that ring, like you said, and he will hypnotize your ass. Like,
okay, but you can't hypnotize a whole goddamn crew that's coming after him.
That's true too.
He'll probably leave Dottie behind to sacrifice herself, and he gets away to get back home.
That's also true too. That's very, very true. But we don't know how powerful that ring and his voice his voice itself is. If it is very powerful, if you just pay attention to his voice, that is. Not just the people are looking for.
Well, yeah, but what we're seeing is like he can only do it with one person at a time. That we've already established.
Yeah,
right.
So.
But what we see on a massive scale though, like not to like 100 people, like say like.
I don't think we would see hypnosis on a massive scale. I honestly feel this is, like I said, it's a speculation that maybe that whole movie theater scene was. Okay, we created this chaos. Now the SSR is going to come down here. They're going to clear out the building. Now we go back and we go get Steve's blood. Because he already knows Steve's blood is in the laboratory.
Right. That's true, too.
Huh.
There's so much things going on for this show. I mean, there's a lot of things. So, shit.
Unless they had some of Red Skull's blood around somewhere.
Okay, now that is impossible, because he vanished somewhere.
But remember, before he became Red Skull, well, while they were experimenting and he did all that shit, maybe old Cuckoo Head took some blood too.
That's true too. That's very true.
It's just a theory, like you said, speculation. We throw them
theory.
out there. It could be right, or it could be incredibly wrong.
Either way, I don't give a damn, because it's a great show now. It's a great show.
It's like it started off pretty slow, and it was a little bit hard continuing it on, but it's like I think we all managed to have faith in this show, and that faith is rewarded because this has turned into a damn fine show, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it all ends.
Yeah, Marvel does that a lot too. Marvel keeps doing that shit a lot. Like, they start off slow and give some weak episodes, but they push out some great episodes at the same time.
You could see why last season's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. started off slow, because they were holding back for the Winter Soldier movie. This year, they just came out the gate like they really haven't missed a beat.
Right.
Hopefully, they could keep that momentum coming back from their winter break.
I think they will, because that final itself, the Agent Carter, has to connect, like DeAno said, has to connect to S.H.I.E.L.D. itself to get people pumped up.
It doesn't have to connect to S.H.I.E.L.D. It just has to connect to the universe itself. You don't need the connection to S.H.I.E.L.D. You need it to connect to a movie.
Right.
Just one particular movie going forward, which I think it will most likely try to connect more towards Winter Soldier.
I can see that happening. That would be cool.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. But anyways, we have exactly one more episode next week, and it's going to be fun. And of course, Geeks Around will be there with you every single step of the way next week. Finale of Agent Carter, then the week after that, the return of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and along with it, the return of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. discussions hosted by Matt Moore right here on youtube.com/geeksaround. If you have anything for us, you can always email us, geeksitaround@gmail.com. And as always, we invite and implore you to join the Geeks It Around community. You will find the link for that down in the description for this video, right underneath that like button. Until then, my name is DeAno Jackson. This has been the Geeks It Around discussion for Agent Carter, and we will see you for the finale next week.